Donald Trump, the man who challenged the system and left the left completely lost. Do you believe that even the liberal media is admitting his genius? Stay in this video until the end and see what Van Jones said about Trump.
How the hell did Donald Trump figure out the mainstream media is the fringe and the fringe is now the mainstream? How the hell did Donald Trump figure out? I mean, Joe Rogan is obvious, right? Like, we knew the guy had a big audience. It's not like we were like stunned, but like, how the hell was he, the 78-year-old guy who doesn't even have a computer and still like writes handwritten notes? How did he become the guy who cracked the code on, to your point, running a cultural, I don't even want to say campaign, running
it was a movement. Look,
heading a cultural movement versus a campaign.
Every one of your people knows Elon. Listen. Yeah, so everybody keeps, the problem is you have a framework in your mind that, how can Donald Trump? Guys, can we cut it out? Donald Trump is not an idiot. Donald Trump, let me just be very clear. Donald Trump is smarter than me, you, and all critics. You know why we know? Because he has the White House, the Senate, the House.
Totally agree.
The popular vote. He has a massive media ecosystem bigger than the mainstream built around him and for him, and a religious fervor in a political movement around him. And his best buddy is the richest person in the history of the world, and the most relevant Kennedy is with him. This dude is a phenomenon. He is the most powerful human on earth and in our lifetime. And we're still saying, well, how was this guy? We look like idiots to ordinary people.
You're totally right.
And who would have thought right that even Van Jones, one of Donald Trump's biggest critics, admitted that he is the smartest of all his critics combined? That's right. Even they know that Trump is not just a politician. He's a strategist. He is a brilliant strategist who left the entire left disoriented. Look, we're not just talking about a politician who won the White House. Oh, we're talking about someone so brilliant that he changed American politics. And while the left is trying to deal with all of this, the big liberals are sinking. Channels that were on top are now in free fall. Want to know how bad this is? Look at these numbers.
MSNBC and CNN are floundering following a post-election slump. The two liberal-leaning networks saw a downturn after Donald Trump's 2016 victory, but this time their views have plummeted even deeper. According to Nielsen, MSNBC's viewership was down by more than half, with an average of 603,000 primetime viewers from the day after the election through December 8th. CNN was down 46%, with 401,000 viewers on average. Meanwhile, the viewers appear to be flocking to Fox News, which was up 12%, averaging about 2.7 million.
Now let me explain to you why this is happening. These channels became completely focused on the Democrats, trying to ignore and demonize Donald Trump, completely disregarding the real will of the public. And now, with their credibility destroyed, they are paying the price, as is the case with CNN. Meanwhile, Fox News continues to grow because it offers a counterpoint to the left's misinformation machine. And speaking of manipulation, you need to see yet another journalist losing control while talking about Donald Trump.
Donald Trump ran for president for one reason and one reason only: to make all of his legal problems, poof, go away. And for the most part, he was successful, with one exception. Yesterday, the New York judge who presided over Trump's hush money trial denied his bid to toss out his guilty verdict, meaning Trump will have to live with the infamy of being the first convicted felon president. But that isn't stopping Trump from trying to hit the delete button on every other bad headline ever printed about him, going so far as to sue Iowa pollster Ann Seltzer and the Des Moines Register, saying he's seeking accountability for brazen election interference over a November poll that showed Kamala Harris up 3% in Iowa. Never mind the fact that Trump won the election and won the state of Iowa by double digits. He's clearly feeling emboldened by ABC News agreeing to pay a $15 million settlement in a defamation lawsuit. Nearly every legal expert said that they would have won. And as others in the media show, they are increasingly willing to comply in advance. like the owner of the LA Times, Patrick Soon-Shiong, who Oliver Darcy is reporting requested that the newspaper's editorial board outright take a break from writing about Trump and balance any critical editorials or articles with positive ones.
Without evidence and without arguments, just another desperate attempt to attack Donald Trump. This is the left, huh? In 2024, completely disoriented and aimless. Yeah, but it's not just happening in the United States. You know, the left is melting down. Let's see what's happening in Canada.
Well, I mean, yeah, and, you know, there's sort of a game people play of mocking Canada. Well, now Canada has been mocked by its own prime minister. You know, Justin Trudeau went down to Mar-a-Lago as if Trump is already president. He's not president yet. He didn't go running to the White House of the real current president. He went to him as if he could just become a supplicant. And now Chrystia Freeland, who's his finance minister, she's out of there because she's like, we need to come up with a strategy to deal with Trump's tariff plan. That is not a strategy, and it is humiliating. And if I were a Canadian, I'd be absolutely disgusted. You know, it's interesting that it's said that there's a crisis of manhood, right? That is being said a lot on the right. There is a crisis of manhood. But it's on your own side, guys.
Can I ask you sort of a chicken and egg question? Is it President-elect Trump and his potential tariff threats that's causing this, or is that merely stoking a fire that was already lit, in essence?
It's sort of ancillary to it because this was actually an opportunity for Justin Trudeau to get a bump in the polls because a lot of Canadians perceive Donald Trump as being difficult to predict. And therefore, when things go wrong, it gets sort of assigned to the, oh, well, it's Donald Trump category rather than why isn't our prime minister handling it correctly. So a lot of Liberals were anticipating that Trudeau could benefit from this. And that has not been the case. Instead, Donald Trump has belittled Justin Trudeau at a time when he is highly unpopular with Canadians. And this has been the case for about a year for Justin Trudeau. And I think sometimes people outside Canada don't realize his popularity here has been slipping and stuck in very low numbers. He's made a lot of unpopular policy decisions. And that's why there's sort of this is, you know, the question on is this the nail in his coffin?
In Canada, Justin Trudeau is facing an epic scale uprising. And guess who's behind this? Donald Trump with his ethical and consistent policies. So guys, can we still doubt Trump's genius? The liberal media might try, but the facts speak much louder. He's not just a leader. He's a political and cultural phenomenon. Do you all agree? Leave it in the comments. And also let us know what you think about this global turnaround. That was the video for now. Thank you all very much. Leave a like to support the channel. Until our next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel because here you'll hear the truth without filters.